And oh, we started. All right, bet. Whoa, let me get my closet out the back of the frame. How about that? Because that joint is not clean. Okay.
Oh gosh. And mine is like the door.
Yeah, it's all good. You can still see some of the door right there, but whatever. We'll say it. Yeah. All
Right.
right. Welcome back to Small Couch Reviews. It's your boy Sam.
It's your boy Jovi.
And yeah, as you can see, we are in very different locations using very different equipment. Between power outages and our busy schedules and just everything, things didn't work out. So
Yeah.
apologies off the jump, but we really wanted to get this review out. We saw Oppenheimer maybe 12 hours ago, and we really want
Yeah.
to talk about it, y'all. So this is one of the most anticipated movies of this summer, starring Cillian Murphy as J. Robert Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb. And yeah, the movie, I mean, it wasn't really what I thought it was going to be, but I
Right.
very much enjoyed it. I think that, so just to set it up, the movie is, it's not all about the bomb. Not at all. There's, I'll say, three separate storylines going on. You have one that is about, him in his early youth, leading up to him being picked as the head of the Manhattan Project to build the bomb along with his team. Then you
Yep.
have another one that's set in the future, um, that has to deal with Robert Downey Jr.'s character, who's a prospective senator, and
Hmm.
he's his Senate hearing. Like before they confirm him into the Senate, they're asking him questions about his relationship with Oppenheimer because they had kind of a contentious relationship. And then you have another one where Oppenheimer again is in the future after the events of World War II, where he is basically in a kind of a kangaroo court where they are asking him questions about his ties to communism because it's the era of McCarthyism and everyone's a communist and
Everybody's a communist.
and America is study fish hunt. So you got three separate stories going on. They bounce among each other. And yeah, the kind of the communism story and his ties and his relationships with communists early on in his life is it's that actually takes prevalence more so than the actual bomb itself. Which is why I said it wasn't what I expected. I thought this movie was just going to be all about the bomb, and then at the end it was going to explode. That's what I thought it was going to be, but I was wrong. But with that, Jovi, I've been starting a lot. Why don't you start off? Tell us what you thought of this giant.
All right. Yeah. So, I mean, you described the plot. I, that's better than if you went on and read it on IMDb. So that's what's going on. There's three different timelines, and somehow they all intersect so well. Even the use of color, and it's very weird because it goes from black and white to color many times within the film.
Yeah,
But for some reason, it makes sense even when it's black and white in the future or black and white in the current or black and white in the past. Like it the idea of the story is based around when the bomb was being created is it's not just that. It's so much more. Um, yeah, I I have nothing to add to what the plot is. Um, you want to start with your goods, your bads, your
yeah, man. Go
I,
ahead. I want to hear
yeah.
you. I
I
want to
mean,
hear you.
I'm sorry to say, and this is going to sound so cheesy and probably unbelievable. The hype is real. This film was the only and probably first film that wasn't a horror film that literally the entire movie felt like I was on the edge. Like it had progression the entire time. Like it just felt like something was going to happen. Like it felt like the ending of a movie the entire time. This very weird feeling.
I think the soundtrack had a little bit to do with that.
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. So it's just like always this like what is going to happen? What is going to happen? What is going to happen? What is going even when they show him when he's young, I'm like, what's going on? What's the significance of this? Like you're wondering the entire time. Um, it being shot in film on film, some people would say was such a waste of time. But I loved the little popping ins, the marks on the screen, everything like that. It felt like you were kind of watching something old, but of course, in reality, it was filmed, not too long ago. So it all the way through, even Robert Downey Jr.'s having. I didn't know he was going to have a huge part in the film, right? I guess that's a little spoiler. I mean, it's really about he has a good quarter of the film when it comes to you know significance to history and to what's going on. So it's pretty cool. I don't know, of course, don't know Oppenheimer to from any if they portrayed this person in history the right way, but I enjoyed the acting. The amount of cameos were done so tastefully. It wasn't just like, oh, we're gonna throw this person here, throw this person there. Like people actually got to act. It wasn't just, oh, hey, that's a cool person. Yeah, yeah, I know that actor. I know that actress. So, yeah, it was a good film. It was a really good film.
How bad I was about to talk on mute. You know it's good because you didn't even start with your negatives.
Right.
So I'm going to kind of go with you a little bit. I don't know if I was on the. I get you saying you were on the edge because, like, it's like something is always happening. And for
Yeah.
me, here's the thing: for a movie where I thought it was going to be all about the bomb, this is very dialogue heavy, kind of like a Tarantino film. And the
Yeah.
fact that the dialogue kept me just enthralled for over 2.5 hours, that says enough right there. I mean, I love this movie. I mean, like again, it's not what people. I don't think it's what people thought it was going to be,
Yeah.
which is just focusing on the bomb, 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 and like the huge explosions and stuff. Like it's actually not that much of it. Um, the acting, like you said, I mean, big surprise. It has A-list actors. It's going to be amazing. But what I will say is I think it's supposed to be billed as kind of an ensemble cast. I don't see it that way. I think it's Killian Murphy, and then there's everybody else. Um, the dude kills it.
Yeah.
My man from everyone's favorite Peaky Blinder. It's fine. He needs to get an Oscar nod for this. Everything
Yeah.
from his mannerisms to his voice. Like I forgot he was a British man for a second. Like
Yeah.
he was so convincing as this person, just the arrogance, the cockiness, the brilliance. It's just like I actually felt like I was watching like Oppenheimer. Like I feel like he actually studied this man. I mean,
No.
which I,
It,
I know
yeah.
actors do, but I feel like he put in a lot of work because it felt kind of like you're watching like a real life documentary because this dude just seems so real, man.
Right. That's why I says like I don't know who Oppenheimer was, but if he did his job, and I feel like he did because of the type of actor he is, then now we got a feeling of what that man was,
Yeah,
and
man. I mean,
now
it's a lot.
like the moral side
Yeah,
of creating mass destruction
and
weapon.
that's gonna lead me to my other thing. Well, first off, I also do like that. He's not. They showed he's not just a nerd. Like the dude had game. He was pulling women.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
was he was just he had a temper. Like the dude, he was human. I like that they showed that. But yeah, man, the other thing that this movie did, like, I mean, I know it's been a topic of discussion for a long time, but it's like the morality of building this thing. What is the famous quote you see when he says, "What I am become death, like the destroyer of worlds." Like I think that's something that's lost a lot of this. I think even I had to remember when I watched this movie. By the time the bomb was ready to be built, the war was essentially over.
Mm-hmm.
Hitler was dead. The only thing left was Japan. And I know there was a lot of resentment because Japan bombed, Pearl Harbor,
Yeah,
out of like when we
yeah.
were neutral. And so, I mean, I think like the thinking back then is we got to get our lick back, basically. But like to use that thing, especially after they had bombed Tokyo to hell, it's just like he was someone who was like, we built it. It's not our job to determine how it's used. That's all he wanted to do. All the other
Mhm.
scientists were like, "No, it was supposed to be used against Germany, not against
Mhm.
anyone else." He was like, "We shouldn't use this. It's gonna change the world forever." And I mean, I like that at first he's like, "We just built it. I'll tell them our concerns, but we're not gonna determine it." And then, once they use it, and then of course, humans can never have anything nice, right? Like you build a
No.
bomb, they're like, "Oh, well, can we make something bigger?" Then
It
he's
makes
like,
something
"All
big.
right, yeah." He's like, "All right, look, y'all are going too far. I think you've like destroyed the world."
Right.
There's,
Right.
I mean, the very like his talk with Einstein, my like when he's talking about like, hey, we talked about if like earlier in the movie, there's a theory that if like they press the button, the bomb will just keep exploding and
Yeah, and it'll destroy the
explode
whole
and
world.
destroy the world.
Yeah.
And he's like, he talks to Einstein to check his calculations. And then at the end, he comes back and's like, we talked about if, we pressed that button, if we were going to destroy the world. And he's like, I kind of think we did, kind of like metaphorically, because
Yeah.
now there's a nuclear arms race, right? I love that. One of the best scenes in the movie, I think, is after the bomb is delivered to Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He can't get out of his head. Like there's a scene where everyone is just cheering him for his huge accomplishment when he's giving that
Mhm.
speech, and he doesn't hear any of it. He doesn't hear any of the cheers. All he hears is like a screaming. He hears screaming, and then he
Right.
sees like dead bodies. He sees burnt
Yeah.
flesh. I think that was just it was just amazing. It was an excellent use of sound. One of the best pieces of like cinematography I've seen
That
this year.
joint scared me a little,
Oh
but
yeah, I remember when the scream happened. You said, "Oh yeah."
yeah, I was just like, "Hold on, no one else was bothered by that
Yeah,
screech?"
yeah, it was crazy, man. I love that. Now I guess the thing that I will say, and now obviously, and all the other goods are with you. I agree with you. So I mean, I think we got it. Pacing, plot, acting, fantastic. The bomb itself, I kind of am. Let me say this. I'm disappointed in three things. First, we saw this in a regular theater. I do not think this is. I honestly think this needs to be seen at least in a
Yeah.
single laser IMAX, which is
Yeah.
your IMAX at your local AMC or Regal, right? If you have an actual IMAX, 70 millimeter or not even 70 millimeter, but an actual IMAX screen that's dual laser IMAX, like you'd see it like a museum or something, I
Right.
recommend you go see it there. Because I mean, it didn't hit as hard when the bomb actually hit. Like when that happened, on our screen, I could tell that it was, cropped, and
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
just seeing it, like, when he's looking at it and you just see like, I can just imagine how that would look on an IMAX screen, like, just the
I
fire.
for like to go to your point, if you haven't seen Dunkirk in IMAX, you haven't seen Dunkirk.
Ah, okay. Got you, yep.
Like just straight up. If you have not, because seeing them storm in like the magnitude of an entire military running on a beach on a giant screen, you're not experiencing that on a regular theater.
Yeah, man. And I think I said this in the last review, this dude Nolan, Christopher Nolan, it's him and Tom Cruise, they're the ones who are like, "Okay, your movie's in a theater, I will actually go to a theater to see this," and yeah, I think it was necessary. So that was it. The IMAX, and then the bomb itself. I guess I feel even though I like the movie, I do wish there was a little bit more emphasis on the actual bomb. Um, I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just a kid in me. I'd like to see more explosions.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Right. We did. It was definitely sidelined.
yeah, to the communist plot. If you
Yeah.
want to call it that. Yeah.
Right.
Um, And actually, I said 3 things. I think that and then the third thing, because it's Killian Murphy and everyone else, the movie, every other character does fine, but there are so many people involved that it's kind of hard to keep track of them because 'cause they're not that significant. So, like,
Hmm.
when they're saying, like, "Oh, Teller's gonna be up next," and you're like, "Wait, who's Teller?" Then they're like, "You talk to Pace," and you're like, "Wait, who's Pace?" Right? It takes a minute for you to remember these
Yeah.
people. And
Yeah.
that's I mean, those are all minor gripes to me. I think like Jovi said. He said it right after. He said the movie held his attention the entire time and it was mostly talking. Just the dude just, his quick responses to the banter between him and Matt Damon or him and his wife
Yeah.
and him and Florence Pugh's character, I think her name was Jean. It's
Yeah.
just it was so good, man. It was
I don't.
I really
I don't know if intentionally it was made where like in the beginning, I felt like I couldn't hear, right? Like I don't know if it was like my attention just wasn't there yet, but like and then I was just literally sucked into this experience. It was just like I am standing in these rooms while they're having these intense conversations,
Yeah,
and
man.
it somehow, some way, and again, like since we didn't see it the way it was meant to be seen. I feel like you're going to get that even more in the IMAX because you're going to get full body
Oh
shots.
yeah, I think it's worth saying we're gonna see this movie again.
Yeah,
I mean that right there should let you know how much we liked it. Like we're gonna see
yeah,
this
yeah,
movie
yeah.
again.
So like,
Uh,
if this movie can be enjoyed in standard, I feel like we're going to be blown away. And if we actually get to go to that real IMAX and actually feel that bomb go
yeah,
off,
man. Whew.
yeah.
I
So
yeah
I mean, I'll say it for both of us. We will have at least a 1 minute, recap again of experiencing an IMAX up soon. I mean, it's really hard because it's literally sold out everywhere.
yeah, but we got to even. I mean, we're gonna even if we have to go like on a weekday or something, we'll find a way to make it happen, man.
Right.
Yeah, bro. But like seriously, it's been a while since a movie it's a movie I wasn't expecting that did this. Or how do I say this? It wasn't the movie I thought it was going to be, but it still turned out to be very, very, very good. I mean, I knew it was going to be good just because I knew the talent associated, but I mean, it's just
Right.
like you said, bro. Like the hype is like the hype is real, but like it's real for different reasons, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like
I
you said,
Christopher Nolan can walk away from film.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He doesn't have to. He doesn't have proof. He has nothing to prove to anyone.
Yeah, bro. You said it. Between yeah, I think like you said, I just want to reiterate: Cillian Murphy, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
They were excellent. I'm sorry, I think his name's actually pronounced Killian, but they were excellent, and the
Yeah.
cinematography is just how you'd expect from a Nolan film. So yeah, man, Jovi, what you giving this giant?
Oh man, this is a five. This is a five all day. This is a five, and the reason why, like, you're getting that watchability over and over again. You're getting that if you have a really, really nice setup, even at home, you're going to enjoy this soundtrack. You're going to enjoy how it just brings you in. It's a great story. They took a piece of history and made it into an entertaining, just like you said, just writing marvel. Like the conversation pieces in this film.
Yeah, so a movie stands out to like after this movie, I went and I looked up how much of this was. I don't even know how much of it was real because I feel like they did a research. I just wanted to learn so much more about stuff that was happening at the time, like
Right.
about Oppenheimer's, communist ties and his relationship with Einstein and all that stuff. I was actually interested. Which we watched a lot of movies where after we watched it, I was like, yeah, I don't really care.
You don't care.
Yeah. So yeah,
No.
I agree with you, bro. I think that this is our small couch review score is going to be a 5. Yeah, yeah, the Oppenheimer. It was I'm very,
There.
very like I just thinking about it in my head, I'm very pleasantly surprised at how well this movie was given it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. So
Right.
oh
There's
yeah.
a there's a very funny moment with Einstein in this film. Uh, please in the comments tell me if y'all catch it, because it doesn't make sense. It's like the one part of the film that doesn't make any sense,
Yeah.
and it's absolutely hilarious. And for it not to make sense, I feel like it was written that way because there was no reason. There's no reason that you would put this in a movie, but
Okay.
it has to make sense some kind of way, and I think that's what made me chuckle so much.
Yeah.
And please in the comments, if you when you see this film, please tell me if you found the Einstein scene that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Like you said, guys, please do that, y'all. Yep. And if you like this video, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button and the little bell.
Ding.
There you go. And yeah, like Joey said, man, let us know when you watch it. Hit the comments. Let us know what you think of this. Let us know what you think of your other Christopher Nolan movies. How does this rank? How does this compare? Because honestly, I saw Tenet recently, and I gotta say, I actually don't like that movie. Like after watching it a second time.
It was too loud. I watched it at home, and not even the 5.1. Uh, this is when we had the three to one system, and it was just too loud and overwhelming. And the ending, the story itself, just didn't come together like it should
Yeah,
have.
I agree. I didn't care for it, but
Yeah,
story for another day. All right, y'all. Thank you for sticking with us. Appreciate it. And until next time, we out.
this is.
All right. All right. Let me end recording. Shout out to our friends over at the Grand Shuck It. They really do hold it down, and if you don't know who they are, you will definitely want to. So go check out their website at thegrandshuckit.com. There you will find all you will ever need in the world of anime, manga, TV shows, movies, books, comic books, video games. They have it all in one nice, simple, consolidated space. They post written reviews on all that stuff, and they have several hundred episodes of podcasts that are quite frankly hilarious. So go ahead, check out their website. Again, thegrandshuckit.com, and also give them a follow on Twitter. That way you will never not be in the know.